Hey, let me paint a picture for you real quick. It's 6:47 a.m. Your alarm hasn't gone off yet, but your body clock already has you sliding out of bed. Same side of the bed, same foot first on the floor. Coffee machine starts exactly at 6:50 because you pressed the button the night before. Mug in the same spot on the counter. Same podcast episode queued up while the water boils. You feel that quiet settling in your chest. Everything is where it should be. The day hasn't even properly started, but it's already under control. If that little sequence just gave you a flicker of recognition, or maybe a tiny defensive twinge, then yeah, this one's probably speaking directly to you. Today we're talking about the psychology of people who are, let's be honest, married to their routines. Not just people who like structure, people whose entire sense of calm, identity, and emotional safety seems tied to the exact same sequence of small actions every single day. You know who you are. The person who gets quietly irritated when someone suggests, let's just wing it for dinner. The one who feels a low hum of unease if the gym session gets pushed back by 30 minutes. The friend who packs for a trip 3 days early with outfits labeled by day because winging the wardrobe feels like tempting chaos. Psychologists have noticed this pattern for a long time. It's not laziness or boredom. It's actually a sophisticated emotional regulation strategy. Routines act like an external nervous system when your internal one feels fragile. They lower what researchers call decision fatigue, that slow drain you feel when you're constantly choosing. More importantly, they dial down something deeper, intolerance of uncertainty. Some of us have a higher baseline tolerance for ambiguity. Life's surprises feel like adventures to them. For others, and if you're still listening, this might include you, uncertainty isn't exciting, it's a low-grade threat. A rigid routine becomes the antidote. Predictability equals safety. When the world feels unpredictable, which let's face it, it usually does, your morning walk at exactly 7:15, your lunch at 1 sharp, your evening wind-down ritual, those become anchors. But here's where it gets interesting, and maybe a little uncomfortable. Not everyone who loves routine is the same. Psychologists see at least 2 distinct psychological styles hiding under the "I need my routine" umbrella. First type, the protector. This is the person whose routines developed as a shield. Maybe childhood felt chaotic, parents unpredictable, home unstable, emotions big and unmanaged. Or maybe later life threw curveballs, job loss, health scare, betrayal. Routines became the way to reclaim control. For the protector, breaking routine doesn't just feel annoying, it feels like danger. The anxiety spikes fast because the routine is literally holding anxiety at bay. If someone messes with your system, it's not just inconvenience, it's existential. If this falls apart, what else might? Second type, the architect. This person's routines aren't born from trauma, they're built from preference and self-knowledge. They know themselves well. They understand that too much novelty drains them, that open-ended days make them foggy, that structure actually frees up mental space for creativity or deep thinking. Highly sensitive people often fall here. Research shows HSPs lean hard into self-created routines because external stimulation is already so intense. Their routine isn't a defense mechanism, it's an optimization tool. They protect their energy the way someone else might protect their investments. So, which one resonates more? The protector who feels a quiet panic when plans change, or the architect who simply knows this is how they function best? Or, and this is the tricky part, maybe you're a blend. Most of us are. The deeper layer is evolutionary. Humans are wired to seek patterns because patterns historically meant survival. Predictable food sources, safe paths, reliable social cues. In a modern world full of constant notifications, shifting schedules, endless choices, leaning into routine is almost a rebellion against overload. It's saying, I choose predictability on purpose. Studies on daily routines show they correlate with lower anxiety and better sleep when consistent, but only up to a point. When routines become too rigid, they can start blocking growth, connection, spontaneity, the very things that keep life alive. Think about it for a second. When was the last time you intentionally disrupted your own routine? Not because life forced you, but because you chose to. And how did that feel? Was it liberating, or did it leave a strange, empty space where comfort used to be? No judgment here. There's real strength in knowing what steadies you. People married to their routines often show impressive self-discipline, reliability, emotional consistency. Friends know what to expect from you. Work gets done because systems are in place. You probably sleep better, eat better, show up more reliably than the go-with-the-flow crowd. But there's also a shadow side. The same structure that protects can quietly confine. Opportunities slip by because they don't fit the schedule. Relationships strain when someone else's spontaneity feels like an attack. And sometimes, in the quiet moments, you wonder if you're really living or just executing a very well-planned program. I'm not here to tell you to throw your routine out the window. That would be cruel and pointless. Most of the time, your routine is serving you beautifully. The gentle challenge is this. Notice when it's serving you and when it's starting to own you. Can you experiment with micro-flexibility? Swap the 7:15 walk for 7:30 once this week just to see what happens inside. Not to become spontaneous overnight, but to test the boundary between this keeps me sane and this keeps me small. Because the truth is, routines are powerful medicine, but like any medicine, dosage matters. So I'll leave you with this quiet question to carry. If your routine disappeared tomorrow, not dramatically, just gently faded, what part of you would feel exposed and what part might finally breathe? I'd love to hear in the comments, are you more protector or architect or somewhere in between? And what's one tiny routine you're married to that you defend with your life? If this hit home even a little, if it made you feel seen in a way that's both comforting and slightly unsettling, consider sticking around. Hit subscribe if you want more of these psychological mirrors that don't just explain people, they quietly reflect you back to yourself. Thanks for being here. Take care of your anchors today. Talk soon.